away by Holloway. The sophomore's got his eyes up. Feeds Sears. One more pass. Youngblood. Jones hits the roller. Knocked away. Gibbons got a piece of it. Lead feed to Carter. Carter! The throwdown! Houck smothered Knox that time. Florida on a 7-0 run and on the move. Richard! Yeah! Ice cold Tuscaloosa tonight, where the fans were flooding in 2 hours before tip. That's what happens when you knock out a top 10 Kentucky team in Rupp Arena a couple of days ago. And so what is next for these 4th-ranked Crimson Tide? A quality Vanderbilt club with a 15-3 mark as well is coming into town flying high after a huge win for the Commodores a couple of days ago. More on that in a moment. He is Richard Hendricks. That is former Alabama Mr. Basketball, former Tide star as well. Kevin Fitzgerald with you. So it was a great win for Alabama. They keep racking up these top 25 wins. You are watching the SEC on ESPN. Warm, sunny Saturday night in Nashville for a season opener. The Vanderbilt Commodores, one of the better stories of the SEC from a year ago. They kick off this 2025 season against the Charleston Southern Buccaneers at First Bank Stadium. Welcome to the West End. Welcome upstairs, and happy week one, everybody. 3rd down. Charleston Southern trying to bring some heat. Flick it over the middle. It's caught. Breaks free. Touchdown.
Of the Broncos. Call he's familiar with. Buckmeyer down the seam. He's got Shakir. His favorite target from a year ago into the end zone for the first time this season.
Now, and Hansen making his first career start today, mind you.
Hayter's got it. Intercepted. Shaq Bond. First turnover of the year for an Aggie defense that needed it.
That's the bad news. The good news is today the spring training debut for Brandon Nimmo.
Well, Brandon, excuse me, not Marlon Brando. One of my favorite actors, by the way. He gets his first start today.
I think your timing is perfect. The Brando reference on the day of the Oscars tonight. First pitch coming up between the Mets and Rays when we come back. First, he faces 4, 5, and 6. Matt Adams now, the veteran, back with the Nationals in the 4-hole today. Counts 1-1.
Well, I thought Matt Adams, when he came up with the Cardinals, was going to be a superstar.
You saw the numbers. He's played in a lot of games.
He had that big playoff with the Cardinals. I believe he hit a home run off Kershaw. I could be wrong. I know it was against the Dodgers. And I just thought he was a monster.
Yeah.
And it just hasn't worked out for him.
Well, and Keith, Nationals fans will remember he was a key bat at times in their postseason run 4 years ago. It's really astounding to realize he was in independent ball last year, so he was out of affiliated baseball. So Peterson retires on 4 up and 4 down. Ildemaro Vargas bats next.
Vargas is another guy that can play all the 3 infield positions, 3rd, short, and 2nd base. See his numbers from last year.
31-year-old Venezuelan, 5 of 24 this spring. So certainly a sharp start for Peterson. Again, this is his first outing on the mound since March 4th. He's thrown 4 innings in 2 appearances. He took that comebacker off his foot 10 days ago. His first outing since. Vargas drives this one to left. Canna underneath it. Yeah, 2 down. How would you describe how this team came back from 3 runs down, 1 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th? You strand the bases loaded in the bottom of the 9th inning, then the big outburst of the 10th. How did it happen in the late innings dramatically?
It just shows you heart, man.
Where are these emotions coming from? Why are they coming out right now?
Because it's been so long. It's been a long road. I mean, I can count on my hand how many times I've cried, but this is what it's about.
Where does that mentality, that attitude come from to stay locked in and, as you did in the second half, pour it in?
Yeah, just getting to the next play.
Went, coming home. 1-2 is smashed. Out to left. Going back. Gone! Swing, that one is lifted. There's some carry to it. Sailors climbing the wall. Goodbye.
He struck him out. Wake Forest strands, the bases loaded. Here it comes. Strike three called. Seth Keener, electric.
Yesterday, he swings and hacks that one out to left center. Tommy Hawk on the run. Got it.
That's the third on Mignon, so something to be aware of. The fifth-year senior from New Milford, New Jersey, just picked up his third.
What's a recognition of attacking on closeouts?
How about Sears here? That one looked like it was on target, but offline just a bit. Here's Hogarth looking to attack. Nichols, same spot. Right wing three is good.
A good shooter only has to see one drop. Alabama made a mistake early, allowed Tyler Nichols to see one go through, and he's catching fire.
Phylon immediately in attack mode on the other end. Phylon took the brunt of the contact there, and a loose ball foul on Vanderbilt. Nice response here from Vandy.
That's all because of this penetration and finding your shooter, Tyler Nichols, with the sweet stroke. Nothing but the bottoms. A little run for Vanderbilt, 6-0 run due to those 2 threes.
Yeah, really reliable perimeter threat. You know, he started off a little shaky to start the year, but his last 9 games, so the second half of the schedule for Vandy, 41% from distance. He's been very consistent. And so it has tightened up a little bit relative to what we saw in the first. Alabama led by as many as 19. How have the Tide defended Vandy on this side?
Well, they've done a really good job of communicating and switching off ball. The way that they navigate the screens has been really effective all night long. It's a good possession for Alabama defensively.
That pass deflected out of bounds. It stays here, and so the Commodores only have 6 to shoot.
It's the off-ball action that Vanderbilt runs to get their shooters freed up that is very difficult to guard. Alabama's been doing a good job in the last possession of slowing that down.
Mignon sets the feet, puts it up. That three is strong, and the rebound down to Sears. Phylon in transition, wild layup, and an opportunity here for Vanderbilt. They're trying to push here in transition. Nichols wants it. Got another 3 consecutive threes for Tyler Nichols. And so just like the start of the second half against Tennessee a couple of days ago, these threes have fallen for the Doors. Yeah, very quiet Coleman Coliseum now. If you're Vanderbilt, this is the time to keep striking. Cheers to the rim. Denied by Mignon. Had a vicious one late in that Tennessee game. Hogarth wants 3, puts it up. That's way off, and Nelson has it on the baseline.
As I mentioned, the spurtability of both of these teams.
Oh, is that an offensive foul? Nichols is locked in right now.
Tyler Nichols is taking over the game on both ends of the court, getting it sparked with the 3-point shooting. The prolific shooter taking the charge, but it's on the offensive end, getting freed up, getting lost in the corner. 3 threes, and then on the defensive end, recognizing a big coming downhill, takes it in the chest, offensive foul, ball back to the Doors.
Yeah, I'm certainly okay with that. I mean, that looks like offensive initiated contact there by Stevenson, especially the dip of the shoulder. That's the 3rd on Jaron Stevenson. And can Vanderbilt slice it back to single digits now?
There's a big opportunity.
Yeah, much better shooting to start this second half. They've hit 3 threes. They only had the 1 in the opening half. Mignon, crossover. Mignon, the blow by, but he missed the layup. So he beat Amori to the rim. Could not finish. Here's Diabate in transition. Mo Diabate strong to the basket again.
You know, that an uncharacteristic for Pavia. We talk about his enhanced instincts in the pocket.
But sometimes, you know, at quarterback, things can happen. There's a lot going on, and that can happen. It can happen to you.
So first, if you want to call it mistake of the day, I suppose for the Commodores, 1st and 15. Line to gain is the 8 on the ground.
Another strong run for Alexander, who's now close to 60 yards in the first half on the ground.
I get the sense that they want to have a 1,000-yard rushing, whether it's a combination or one. But Cedric Alexander is going to take the bulk of the load, and you can see all that motion that moves linebackers and everybody over so he can have a place to run in the middle.
Waited for that opening to widen.
So he's not going to beat you with his speed, but he will beat you with his instinct and patience and how he hits the hole.
2nd and 5. Again, Vanderbilt has to get to the 8 to pick up the first down. Pavia starts to improvise. Can't get away from the pressure. And it's Mylan Bowen, the sophomore from Orlando.
That was the one area they said they had to make sure when this guy scrambles, we've got to be ready. And Mylan Bowen and that linebacker crew is going to really make a big play, make plays for this defense if they're going to have a chance to really slow Diego Pavia down.
Nick Reveiz, he is the 3rd-year defensive coordinator. Remember, a former Tennessee captain, so folks around these parts will remember that name. He's got what he believes is a much more mature and experienced defense overall. Pavia, quick drop back, flick it this way, that's caught. And Richie Hoskins has got his first catch of the day. And so that'll set up 1st and goal once again for the Commodores.
Another guy who had a good camp. And I think the one thing when you're the quarterback, you got a lot of mouths to feed. He's starting to get the ball around to different people. I mean, I can remember playing with Troy Aikman, and all the receivers are yelling at him, I want the ball, and I'd be the last one out of the huddle. I got you, Ake. That's what these guys are trying to do. They're trying to get the football. They know Diego will get it to them, but they're trying to politic for it.
Charles, how about this? 14th play of the drive for Vanderbilt. Knocking on the door again. Pavia, pitch it out. Newberry walks it in, an easy score.
At Clover Park today, you couldn't have asked for better weather. It's glorious. Temperatures in the 80s, and so with the Sunday brings a little Sunday tailgating. Yeah, even down here. I think the point, though, you're trying to get it in the hole there. Even the grill. And Keith, I hope you like your burger there rare.
Aren't you supposed to get a little hotter?
I think so. Glad you're with us today for what should be a fun one between the Mets and the Rays. He is Keith Hernandez, Kevin Fitzgerald with you.